What's going on YouTube? So full-size SUVs rule American roads and they attract a lot of people with big families that need big space. Now, two of the most important options in the segment have recently been upgraded: the Chevy Tahoe and the GMC Yukon.
And while these two share some important elements, there are also a lot of differences between these two. So which should you put in your driveway? Well, that's what we're here to find out today.
The days of full-size SUVs being affordable have long passed, and in today's comparison, we'll be squaring off the top specs of each model to show off everything these two have to offer. If you're looking to buy either one, make sure to check out carconfections.com/newcarquotes to get the best price and access to invoice pricing information. In typical full-size SUV fashion, the Tahoe and Yukon both make bold statements that are further amplified by luxury on these top trim models. While they may have similar shapes and share many body panels, each model has distinct styling elements. While we don't score the design, let us know which one you prefer in the comments, because a big part of the appeal is the powerful stance these two have. What we do score are all the features and differences, so let's start with the headlamps. Both models are sporting full LED projector units with unique designs and animations. The Tahoe's recent refresh added fog lamps to match the Yukon. The wheels also make big statements, as both models are riding on massive 24-inch alloy wheels. However, these wheels don't look oversized because of just how large these two are, just over 210 inches long. And that's not even getting into the longer wheelbase versions, the Suburban and Yukon XL. Out back, the designs continue to be boxy yet elegant for each, with large branding accenting the designs. Features are similar for both, with hidden wipers, full LED tail lamps, and quad exhaust outlets. Another perk of these big SUVs is towing, where both can handle around 8,000 pounds. Heading to the mirrors, these two continue to be neck and neck, with heating, blind spot monitoring, power folding, and auto dimming for the driver's side only. And as far as the other safety features, both the Chevy and GMC are equipped with the entire suite of tech on these top models. This will even include Super Cruise for hands-free driving on most highways and many secondary roads. While the exteriors have been quite similar, the differences truly show themselves on the inside. So let's check it out. But first,
if you're new here, we're brothers and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We started young, and since then we've reviewed over 2,000 cars at every price point.
No matter what you're looking for, from sound level readings to cargo measurements, we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family.
Let's learn a lot and have some fun with all the latest cars. Walking up to them, both have smart entry systems with remote start built in, and they'll also greet you with the power running boards when you open up the doors. Once inside, you'll be greeted by both tech and luxury in these cabins, which starts with the seats. For these top trims, the seats will be appointed in full leather with rich brown colors to elevate the luxury even more. The Yukon uses a high-end full-grain leather though, which feels more durable and luxurious than the Tahoe's leather. Functionality-wise, they share heating, ventilation, memory, and 12 ways of adjustment, but the GMC once again ups the luxury with massaging seats as well. By the way, feel free to keep your own score along the way if you want, based on your personal priorities. As we hop inside, let's discuss the twofold category of cabin materials and build quality. As you'd expect from products made in the same place, both models feel quite sturdy in fit and finish. General Motors adds some extra plushness to the materials in the Yukon though, with even more stitched leather, metal, and wood than the already luxurious Tahoe. After startup, you'll find full digital gauge clusters on both, sizing in at 11 inches. They also display tons of information, including Google Maps, and there are 15-inch head-up displays as well. Looking at the steering wheels, they're both heated, leather-wrapped, and have power adjustment with rain-sensing wipers. Now the next major area to evaluate is interior storage, where we'll look at both the console space and additional cubbies throughout. Starting with the consoles, they both swallow up all 24 donuts we can throw at them to test the console volume. Beyond that, they also share power sliding consoles, cup holders, wireless phone charging cubbies, and even some additional space on the side of the console. But the Yukon has an additional secret compartment above the screen for even more practicality. Much of the storage is courtesy of column-mounted shifters, and when in reverse, you'll thankfully find 360-degree cameras to park these gigantic SUVs. We're getting into the nitty-gritty details today, so you might notice that the Yukon's camera takes up more space because of the screen orientation. For climate, they have 3-zone automatic setups with physical knobs to control the important functions such as temperature. Another physical control is the volume knob, so let's give their branded systems a sample. Here, the GMC takes the lead as well. With 8 more speakers as equipped, it delivers a more refined sound quality than the Chevy. It also has cool headrest speakers for even more immersive audio and isolation during phone calls. Now let's discuss the screens, which are certainly focal points of the cabins. Surprisingly, it's the Chevy that has the bigger screen, at 17.7 inches versus 16.8 inches on the vertically oriented Yukon. Past the sizing, both have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, plus Google built in, which allows for things like Google Maps natively in the system. Wrapping up the front areas, both have rear camera mirrors and large panoramic moonroofs. Perhaps even more important are the back seats, so let's check out both the space and features. Space is almost identical for these two, as you would expect, providing 42 inches of legroom, which is more than enough for your occupants. They also provide more than enough features, with heated seats, vents, USBs, climate controls, and even rear entertainment screens as equipped. If you want the nicest VIP seats though, it's only the Yukon that offers an executive seating package for ventilated, power, and massaging back seats with speakers in the headrest. That package is available for about $4,000 extra. Moving on to the next row of seats, the space continues to show up in droves. The measures back here are identical and are fit for most any height you can throw at it. They also share features like USBs, overhead vents, and cup holders, but both lack a headrest for the center occupant. How much can you haul along in the cargo areas though? There are only negligible differences between these two, both topping out at nearly 122 cubic feet of space as a maximum. These are some of the largest models on the market today, even without getting into the extended wheelbase versions. For features, they share power folding third rows, electronic tumbling second rows, and full-size spare tires. But this battle isn't over yet, so let's take this fight to the streets. Both Tahoe and Yukon hold a reputation for their hardy, rugged, and great-sounding V8 engine options, which is what we have on these two models today. These top trims are sporting the 6.2-liter V8, making 420 horsepower and 460 pound-feet of torque. As expected, 0-60 is similar for these two, and you can also option on a more torque-rich and efficient diesel if you like. And there's 60 miles an hour.
There you go.
Of course, the 6.2-liter V8 will put a smile on your face in terms of the sound, that's for sure.
So good.
So, of course, this is a classic GM engine, 6.2-liter V8, naturally aspirated, 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque. 60 miles an hour. It does just kind of put a smile on your face to stomp the 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8.
It never gets old. Like a million times.
Yeah. It's just one of those things, like, you know, pretty much most of the rivals have moved on to 6 cylinders, but we've got a V8, like I said, 6.2 V8, 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, so it's got a lot of power on board as well. As far as the transmissions are concerned, both have 10-speed automatics that are nice and responsive, and power is put to the ground via 4-wheel drive systems as equipped. Now let's talk about the other element of the powertrain, and that's the 10-speed automatic. Now, as far as the other element of the powertrain, we've got a 10-speed automatic. As we said in many past GM reviews with their truck products, it's a very smooth transmission. It's really good at dropping multiple gears at once to keep you in the power band. But ride quality and handling characteristics are crucial for these family SUVs, so let's discuss that. For these highest end models, both Chevy and GMC are throwing everything they have at them, including magnetic ride control and air suspensions to have the most comfortable and variable ride qualities available. This means neither of these two will be too nimble down a back road, but taking long road trips will be a dream. If you want to further improve ride quality, both models are available with smaller 22-inch wheels as well.
Yeah, and now we are on our designated strip of road to talk about ride quality. And I think a lot of you guys probably have questions regarding those huge 24-inch alloy wheels on the outside. How's the ride? Well, let me just go ahead and start by the technology behind it. So if you choose an AT4 trim and above, that will give you the magnetic ride control, so the adaptive damper setup. And if you choose the Ultimate, you will get standard air suspension. So that definitely helps your ride immensely. Now, normally with 24-inch wheels, you probably feel awful ride quality, but honestly, throughout the past week of us driving this around, I've been super impressed with the level of ride that this is able to deliver. So you have magnetic ride control, and that's going to be included on Premier trims and above. And then we also have the further option of an air suspension. That's even optional here on the High Country. It's in the Deluxe package. And when you select both of those things, I have to say your ride quality is really phenomenal.
As far as sound insulation, here at Car Confections, we test every vehicle we review at 55 miles per hour to see how quiet they are. The average human ear can hear a 1 decibel difference, and the Yukon beats the Tahoe by about 2 decibels on the same road.
Excellent sound level reading. 52.4 decibels is what we are sitting at. Excellent. 54.5 decibels is what we are sitting at.
Finally, for fuel economy, you weren't expecting a good rating, were you? Anyways, both models come in at 16 miles per gallon as equipped. Once again, choose the diesel option for the best ratings here. Reliability and resale value are also important things to consider when comparing models, so let's get into that. Beginning with reliability, our combined reliability index indicates that, with the latest 2026 data, Chevy has a significant advantage. It's above the overall industry average, while GMC comes in below average compared to other vehicle makes. Related to reliability is your warranty coverage, where both include the same term for basic and powertrain warranties, plus 1 complimentary service visit. Now, as far as resale value, these two are very similar to one another. Based on Mason's calculations, they both retain near 55% of their original MSRPs after 5 years and 60,000 miles. But the GMC does have a slight edge. Now let's talk about pricing. As we said at the beginning, neither model is anywhere near affordable, even for the base models, let alone these loaded ones. Both Chevy and GMC are dancing around the $100,000 mark, but the more premium GMC will take the cake here, setting at almost $107,000. The top versions of these models are certainly more luxury-oriented than they are mainstream nowadays. Since the average price of these models is over $100,000, we will not award any value points, as buyers at this price point are not very price conscious of the $8,000 difference. So there you have it, the objective winner. Do you agree? Well, here are a few things to consider when you're picking based on your personal priorities, and then we'll tell you which ones that we would put in each of our driveways. I'll start with the Tahoe. 3 reasons why you might pick the Tahoe is that it's less expensive, of course, you have more screen real estate, and it also has the better rated overall reliability.
Now, on the flip side, the Yukon would be your choice if you want a few more features throughout. Of course, it is a little bit more luxurious than the Tahoe. It also has available executive rear seating, if that matters to you, and available massaging front seats. And speaking of the elements where one is excelling over the other, we'd encourage you to go to carconfections.com/vehicle rankings. We've looked at all the full-size SUVs on the market. It's a very competitive segment and ranked them in individual categories like cargo space, interior luxury, interior technology, powertrain choices, and of course, value. So if you want to make an informed buying decision and sort the list based on the priorities that are most important to you, we definitely recommend you go to carconfections.com/vehicle rankings. But which would we put in our driveways?
I'll start us off going with the Yukon. And really the reason why is a lot to do with just that overall aesthetic of the exterior as well as the luxury on the inside. And I think you could get the price points even closer by going for maybe just the Yukon Denali instead of the Denali Ultimate. And I think that would be a great way to get really everything that I want.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I think I just get a Yukon Denali and be sitting under that $100,000 price point. Now, what do you think? Let us know your thoughts down below. If you're looking to buy either of these SUVs or any vehicle, also check out carconfections.com/newcarquotes. The reason you should do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool to use if you plan on doing any dealership negotiation. We even have things like a monthly payment tool, so you can find all of that on our website, carconfections.com. And guys, that wraps up this comparison. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, we'd really appreciate you subscribing down below. If you're already a part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support because you make this all possible. And of course, you can watch respective reviews on both the Tahoe and Yukon on our channel, so be sure to check those out as well. We'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.